What's up, guys? HOTSHOTFRONTIER back at it again with another video. And in this video, guys, we're going to be doing a meta tier list post YCS Medellin. So, of course, we have our categories here. We have best decks, next best thing, high potential, rogue level, and, of course, copium. And we do have a lot of decks, interesting decks too, to actually talk about. So let's get right into it. We have Voiceless Voice, and this deck for me personally, I would actually have to put this at next best thing. Of course, we just got the support to actually make the deck a thing in the TCG, which is really nice, and it has a lot of future support ahead of it, of course. Now, it can really just power through hand traps, and it's just a very solid deck that I think will be the next best thing. But of course, let me know down below, guys, if you guys think differently or on anything on this list. Let me know down below. Let's have a discussion. Now, let's go into the next one. We have Dynamorphia, and Dynamorphia for me would have to be copium, or actually I would actually put it at rogue level. So the reason I would put it here is because, you know, the deck is not terrible, but I just think that the general, you know, structure of the deck is that you need to keep half of your life points. You know, you can go down to like 1 if you really want to. And the problem with that is when you go to like a regional or even really like a YCS level, it's hard because there is a thing called time, right? And when it gets down to that, you always lose. You can never win against time when it comes to Dynamorphia. Now, if time is not a factor, honestly, I would put it much higher on the list. Personally, for me, I would leave it at rogue level. Maybe there'll be some type of future support that will change up that method, but I don't see it happening, but we'll see what happens in the future, of course. Going on to next one, we have Fire Kings, one of the best decks of the meta. Come on, Year of Fire, guys. It's the Year of Fire. So, Fire Kings 2 are very versatile. You can play with a lot of different variants, of course. And, I mean, the way you play it, too, can be very budget. You don't have to play the Fire Searchers unless you want to. Of course, you want to go all out? Hey, don't let me stop you, right? But really, really cool that Fire Kings came to the TCG, and they're just honestly one of the best decks we have currently. Now, going on to Labyrinth. Labyrinth, I want to actually just put it at, like, high potential because it really does. And I always do say that, you know, just like Tiers had its own Tier 0 format, Cash had its own Tier 0 format, Labs will have that time too, because they are, like, honestly the best trap-based deck that we currently have. And a lot of other decks are, of course, you know, preparing and having a lot of different stuff in their decks for other decks in the meta that are just innately good against Lab. You know, of course, you have Ghost Spell, and everyone plays Ash, of course, and with the right player, they can really shut down Lab. So, kind of give it time. We'll see what happens, but huge potential with Labyrinth. Going on to our next one, guys, we have, of course, the Chimeras, and Chimeras, I honestly, too, would say high potential. It's another archetype that we did receive from Konami, and, you know, we only have about, like, 5 or 6 cards from that archetype. So, just a lot of huge potential. The same thing with the Voiceless Voice. It's just that when this kind of came out, it didn't really hit, like, you know, the high tables so fast, but it's still a very, very good deck and option you can still play with branded. So honestly, a lot of hope there. We'll see what happens with the of course, the future support of the archetype. Going on to Floowandereeze, and Floowandereeze, I would actually say the next best thing as well. Usually I put Flu at the top of the top, but that just goes to show that there's so many diverse decks out right now, and decks that are just completely dominating, that Flu slowly goes a little bit down. Like the M-Pin and just having everything out on your field is not enough currently in certain situations, but I don't see Konami hitting Flu at all. Hey, it might get some other type of support, right? And it's just that all-around solid deck to play. So while other things sort of like change with the meta, Flu's always just there. So I wouldn't be surprised if next list I put this up at the best, as one of the best decks, to be honest with you. Going on to Orcus. Orcus is not copium, but I'm going to put it at rogue level. Now, you know, a lot of people, just like me, I was hyped to see Orcus come back because I love this deck. The one thing, though, is that people are still playing Bestial stuff, of course, and like I said, with, you know, cards like Ghost Spell and Ash Blossom, they really do hurt this deck. And at the same time, too, I feel like one of the best versions you can play with the deck is with Horus, and again, a lot of graveyard stuff that has an issue with it, but also mainly when you go through the combos with Orcus, if you're versing a player who knows what you're doing, once they stop that line, that's pretty much it. I think for right now, it can really do well in the rogue level tier, but maybe with some other type of deck or variant in the future, it can really soar. You know, just how we saw like a long time ago with Sky Striker, with the Engage engine. That's what got engaged, limited to 1. Or actually, no, I'm sorry, banned, and then slowly coming back. But something like that can really skyrocket the deck for sure. Going on to Branded. Branded, honestly, I say the same thing to me with Chimera, because Branded has always, like, do I really want to put in decks? No, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there. It's just like they have the gimmick public, right? And, like, Branded is not, like, winning YCS. It's crazy to me how Konami has given them this, and they're still, like, there. And it's the same thing with, like, Flu, like how I said, like, there are a lot of amazing decks out right now that Konami is just not even, like, concerned with, oh, we really need to ban that gimmick puppet. Nah, just leave it. Just give it to them. Alright, just give it to them. But hopefully, they can take advantage of that, and we're going to see some huge, huge wins from Branded this format. Going on to Rika. Rika, I don't want to say it's copium. It would be, to me, it would be like the lowest level of rogue level right now. And only in the US, because Europe, one of the top decks, okay? One of the top decks over there. But here, no. I'm sorry. It's just not. It got limited, and it is a good deck, but it just has to be piloted by the right person, not like just someone picking up the deck for the first time. It's just it's not going to provide the same results that you want to provide, of course. Going on to mechanics, right? This is the FTK. I would actually put it at like top of rogue level for now, and for me at least, you know, when we talk about decks that are FTKs, we know for the most part that eventually Konami is going to do something where you can't use the FTK anymore. So that's sort of why I'm putting it at rogue level. For me to put it at high potential, like there has to be future like success from it, right? Going forward, like they'll get something that'll bring it even further up. But in this case, I really don't see that happening. Now, how it is now, it's a very, very good strategy. Of course, going first, FTK your opponent. Going second, a little slower, but you can still do it. In that case, that's exactly why I want to leave it at rogue level. But let me know down below, guys, where would you put it? Going on to Tearlaments. High potential. I love how Tiers in 2024 are still doing its thing. Even in the OCG, they're still doing its thing. So Tearlament is just, it's crazy. Like, I know now they're mixing it with like a Paleozoic type of like build. There's so many different ways you can play the deck, and the fact that they're playing a lot of one-ofs, because there really is a lot of one-ofs, and they're still pulling it off. It's great to see. It's great to see like the people that really want to truly pilot the deck and just pop off. It's awesome to see in 2024. Going on to Salaman Greats. Honestly, I'm one of those people where I'm really, really happy that Salad are doing his thing. I'm actually going to put it in the next best thing. It's a little bit of a stretch, but I will put it there. You know, this deck has just soared the moment it came out in the structure deck, and it kind of just slowly like died for a long time. But you know, cards like what we got from Phantom Darkness, Princess, like cards like that really helped this deck. Like, it is the year of fire truly, and Salmon Great is doing amazing in this year. So I cannot wait to see like a YCS win from this deck. That would be amazing in 2024, but only time will tell, of course, guys. What do you guys think, of course? Do you think that we're going to see a Salmon Great YCS victory? That would be amazing. Going on to Unchained. Unchained has high potential, even though the red is at 1. This deck still does very well against the top decks on this list. Like, that's no question. And we'll hopefully see maybe some more support, if not a new type of way to play the deck to kind of help it out with the current meta. And going on to the next one, we have Horus. Now this isn't like Horus Orcust, this is Horus Stun. And I'm actually going to put this at high potential. So I did create a deck profile actually a little while ago. I probably would say like 2 or 3 months ago of my build of the deck. I'm going to have to do a revised version of it now because Horus Stun is taking over, and I love to see decks like that. It like embodies everything that I think is like anti-meta. You know, just say no to everyone and just kind of just pop off. So Personally for me, I'm really happy to see something like this kind of just form, and I love to see where this goes. Going on to Pearly. Pearly is a deck where I actually will say I would actually put it like in the middle. No, okay, so these aren't like, you know, of course, going from high to low. I would actually put Pearly at high potential, more towards the top. Reason being, I mean, it's one of the few decks on this list too that can make Zeus, and Zeus is insane, but also it can protect its cards from, you know, just being destroyed in general. So I would actually put this here, and I think it's underestimated too currently. You know, a lot of the amazing decks out right now, like I've been saying, but it's still a threat that needs to be dealt with carefully and just not disregarded like a lot of other decks. Going on to Kashtira, one of the decks, of course, the Trinity, like I said, you have Tearlament, you have Kashtira, and of course you have Labyrinth, in my opinion, the 3 threats, or at least they were the 3 threats. And even though Kashtira got the Tearlament, you know, treatment, got like put to the ground, it's still doing its thing, and it can actually, it has a lot of different variants you can actually use it with. And the fact that you still can play D-Shifter, which is a huge advantage for the deck, gives it this placement. I would actually, again, put this maybe towards the front. Same thing with Tier. I'll put it towards the front. I think that with time, we'll kind of see another variant of Cash do very well at the YCS or like regional level of play. But going on to, we have Centurion. Centurion, for now, I actually would put it at like Rogue Tier. Definitely top of Rogue. It's not a terrible deck. You know, making Hot Red is still an insane thing to do, unless you're versus, of course, stun. But other than that, it's a very good thing you can do, and you can actually still make Cosmic Blazer Dragon as well, which is a great card to have on your side of the field. I just feel like right now, it's harder for the deck going second, which is another issue. But going first, if you can pop off, then hey, pop off. Okay, don't have me tell you that. But let's go on to our next one, which is Vanadium, however you guys want to pronounce it. For now, I would actually put it at like low of high potential. And the reason for this is that, you know, for the longest time when I've been doing these tier list videos, I would actually put it lower because Droll was so prevalent that it was hard for something like this to really go off. Now that Droll is slowly, you know, really gone now, you can play Vanadium. I think it should be able to pop off a lot better, I guess I would say. That's not a proper sentence, but just a lot smoother than it was before. You know, you can still play stuff like Crossout Designator to counteract the hand traps you're playing in the deck, but only time will tell, of course, with this as well, because Vanadium is very particular as well. You gotta like also know that, and getting interrupted at certain points kind of just ends it. But if you get through with it, you have a very strong end board against your opponent, whatever they're playing. Going on to the best deck in the format, Snake Eyes. Of course, you guys already know, if you have like $1,000+ you want to just use it on, go ahead, because honestly, that's a high percentage of wins. And you know, they are the winners of the YCS2, which is not surprising. It is the year of fire, of course, guys. And if you're spending that much money on a deck, honestly, hey, you deserve to see it pop off. It is the best absolute definition of a pop off, in my opinion. But so many variants with the deck too. Nothing cheap, of course, but so many different ways you can play the deck, and that's always nice too, to not, you know, just have only like 1 or 2 ways to play your deck. Have several ways to play your deck and still have a lot of fun playing the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! If you're a Snake Eyes player, of course. Going on to Raid Raptor. Raid Raptor, I would actually put Raid Raptor low of like Rogue Tier, maybe in the middle. So Raid Raptor is a very interesting deck. Right now, I think that people should know up to the point where, okay, let me stop them like in the mid combo before they make this big Falcon, right? So I don't get FTK'd or even worse. So personally, I think like it's slowly kind of like the veil is like unveiling, and it's like, all right, I kind of know how to beat this deck. It's still a great deck if you can still do it, and of course just FTK your opponent, why not, right? But if not, I think there are better options you could play currently right now, unless we see a new line from this deck. going on to Runic. Now, of course, this is like Runic Stun. Same thing with the Horus, like Stun. I'm loving these Stun decks, by the way. Okay, that's just personally me, but hey, don't hate on me, okay? Same thing with that. Has a huge potential with this because moving forward, we've seen like Found going to 2. Like, come on, like Konami already knew like we're just like, all right, we have to do something, but we know they're not gonna really care about it. So it has in terms of huge potential in terms of hopefully no hits from the ban list, right? We're hoping. Only time will tell with that. But it's a great deck against, of course, the top tables as well. You have to also think about that. Now we have, second to last thing, Abyss Actors. Copium, unfortunately, it was nice though to see it make it that far in the event. Don't get me wrong, but just Pendulums in general are just not good right now in terms of the ruling. If they change the ruling where it was how it was back then, you could just spam the board, then hey, we might have something right now, but currently it's just not as good. Plus, your opponent can manipulate your spawn trap card zone, which would just stop Pendulum summoning at all. So currently, it's just not the way to go. But hopefully in the future. Last thing we have here, Vagrant Soul. And Vagrant Soul, I would actually put it at high potential. And the reason being I would put this at high potential is the fact that it's a very good going second deck, which is really nice to see. It's good against a lot of different typings and a lot of different decks on the list. Plus, it's a deck that I feel like it's slightly goated. Like, honestly, if your opponent doesn't know what they're doing against you, which it has been a while, and it's not a deck you see as much, it can really do something, really shake up certain events. So, guys, this is the meta tier list post YCS Medellin. If you guys agree with my list, let me know down below. If you guys do not agree, it's all good. Let me know down below as well. Tell me, guys, if you like my Pegasus shirt right here. Really going crazy right now. But of course, guys, if you liked the video, make sure to give it a huge like. Comment down below your thoughts on the list. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know down below. And guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you're updated the moment I upload new videos. But guys, that's it for me. Hope you have a great rest of your day or night, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.